morning. I probably won't be talking much this morning. I gotta bake a lot. A few giant orders this morning. Yeah, I'm at Main Street today. I'm back at Lonsdale tomorrow. An order for 22 dozen for $8.15 and another, oh no, it's 32 dozen, sorry. 32 dozen bagels by $8.15. So I gotta get going. Sponge. Sorry for the bad camera angle. My tripod has failed me once again. Yeah, I don't do much when I'm not at work. I thought about, I guess, I have scoped a few times, but I end up deleting them usually. I've scoped. I've done a scope with me playing the recorder, but I don't play the recorder very well, so I deleted it afterwards because it was sort of shrill. I don't think it was very entertaining. I don't know, when I'm not at work, I'm usually just like reading or watching TV, so. This job requires a lot of energy. I work long hours. I'm on my feet all day. Not complaining or anything, but I've streamed me playing hacky sack once or twice, but I deleted those too. So I'm just waiting for my pot to, I'm just waiting for the bagels to boil here. What a lovely job. Oh, thank you. Glad you're watching me do my job. Almost there. Just waiting. No, it's just water and honey. Add a liter of honey to it's boiling water. It seems like a lovely job, but you know, not many people stick around here. It's the hours are pretty terrible for most people. I love the hours. I don't know why people. Sorry. Oh, I missed that one. Sorry. Most people we hire, they work here for a little while. They like the job. They like the job. No, it's just water I put on the board. I know it looks like oil, but it's just plain old water. just the way that the board glistens, I guess. Is how it looks like an oily sheen, but it's just watery sheen. 16 bagels in a row. Yeah, bagels, Montreal style bagels. With a schmear. Yes, you can get our bagels with a schmear. I don't schmear the bagels, I just bake them. We have professional schmearers that smear the bagels. They smear them all day long. I guess it takes about 20 minutes. It depends on the oven, though. It depends on what temperature the oven is at, and where the flames are set at, and like I don't know. There's lots of variables. But it takes, I guess, typically 15 to 20 minutes. I need to bake fast, so I have the temperature up to 366 Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna turn the flames up pretty high because I want them to bake a little bit faster because I have lots to bake this morning. The brand is it's a Woodstone brand. That's the brand name, but it's just a modified pizza oven. You can't really see it, so it's gas fired. There's two torches or burners on the right hand side. There's a big wide deck right in the center, and I can fit up to 120 bagels in the oven. What's a schmear? The schmear is just cream cheese spread on a bagel. It's slang, I guess. I don't know what it is. We don't really call it a schmear here. I think a schmear is more of a New York term for it. We just call it a bagel with cream cheese here. It sounds like a New Yorkie kind of thing to say, schmear. I've heard it. I think it's more of a New York thing, right? I don't know. Might be wrong about that. These are Montreal style bagels. Now I have a batch in the oven and one in the pot. We bake them on. These are mahogany boards. 1x6 mahogany boards that are 8 feet long. A Montreal bagel is a little bit smaller than a New York bagel. They're smaller. The crust is harder, so there's more of a crunch, and the crumb is softer and denser. It sort of has a chewy, like a chewy dent center. I mean, all bagels are gonna. That's what you're trying to achieve with a bagel. Is you want to have a hard crunchy crust with a nice soft crumb. You want all bagels want to try to achieve that, but with a Montreal style bagel, the crunch to me is a little bit harder, and the crumb is a little bit softer and sweeter and denser. In Montreal style bagels are boiled in honey water. So there's a liter of honey added to my pot of water here. And I'm not sure what New York style bagels use, but they don't use honey. I think they might use something else. Yeah, I'd love to send you some samples. I need to know where you live though. We have 4 locations here in Vancouver. Well, two in Vancouver and 2 on the North Shore. Yeah. I'm sure, you said you live in Virginia, right, Tiffany? I'm sure there's lots of good bagel shops over there on that. No, I haven't recited any poems yet this morning. I only know one, so I mean I could, oh yeah, West Virginia, yeah. Oh, there's not, oh, that's unfortunate. You live close, isn't Virginia fairly close to New York though? Well, it's probably like a couple hour drive, but do I work for Russian intelligence? I'm a spy. I don't know what kind of intelligence I'm acquiring by working as a bagel maker, but it's a good undercover gig here. I'm gonna take all my bagel secrets to the Russians. This is a top secret baking technique that it's been under development for 30 or 40 years here. It's top secret. I wouldn't want the Russians to know about our top secret baking technology. We use a rolling machine. It's like you put a long strip of dough in the machine and then it rolls it into into bagels. Do I work for Russian intelligence? Handmade? No. No, we use a machine here. We only have five slices of bread. No, it's about. I mean, it's about 2 slices of bread, if that even. Ours are a little bit smaller, so not quite. It's like, eating a bagel is like eating an energy bar, or a granola bar. It's about the same amount of calories. You eat a Vega bar, and it's what do you call Cliff Bar, they're about 300 calories. That's how much calories are in a bagel. As long as you're not eating 12 bagels a day, one bagel is nothing really. It's just, you know, it's a quick meal. Lots of calories. That's what it is. People who work hard don't need to worry about too many. Somebody was asking about poetry earlier. Do you want me to recite a poem? I only know the one in its entirety. I'm working on another, but sort of slow going right now. These are poppy seed and plain. What foods should you avoid? Well, I really encourage a vegetarian diet because that's what I am. I'm a vegetarian. I don't think you need to avoid foods. I think you should choose healthy foods. There's certain things that you shouldn't eat all the time, but you shouldn't avoid them. I enjoy a cupcake once in a while. I like cake just as much as anybody else. Just don't eat them all the time. And eat your vegetables. Eat your vegetables, that's all I say. Eat your vegetables. You don't have to avoid anything. Just choose healthy foods. Choose healthy whole foods. That's what I recommend. But you can eat a bagel once in a while, or daily. You can eat a bagel a day if you want. I eat energy bars all day. They're just like, they're just as nutrient dense as bagels are. I think if you're eating a lot of processed food, you got to balance that out with. Well, I mean, you do have to reduce your consumption of processed foods, but you need to. You just need to have balance in your diet. You have to have lots of variety. Eat lots of vegetables, fruits and vegetables. Try to eat as much plant-based as possible. What made you, eating bagels? Too much fat bread. I don't know, our bagels don't have that much fat. They're fairly high in protein. They do contain egg. Yeah, I mean that's the worst thing about a bagel is what you put on it. If you're putting cream cheese and that kind of stuff on a bagel and it's just slathered, you know, it's gooey with cream cheese, and you're gonna. Sorry, I didn't see that. I didn't do that. So I'm getting distracted by all these comments. We got a bake. I think the most important thing with a diet, with any diet, is that you're getting lots of nutrients. The more fruits and vegetables you're eating, the more nutrients you're getting. So that's just a no-brainer. That's the key to eating healthy, is eating lots of fruits and vegetables. Eating nutrient-dense food is essential. But that said, you can still eat processed foods occasionally. You don't have to cut it out of your diet. You don't have to avoid it. As long as your diet has a lot of nutrition, that's what you need. Your body needs lots of nutrition. It doesn't need a whole lot of fat and protein or carbs. It needs food that is loaded with micronutrients. I mean, it needs a balance of those things. Yeah. That's my food philosophy. Eat. Oh, thank you, yeah. Took me a while to memorize it. I've always had a fairly good memory. But it takes me a while. I don't have a photographic memory. I have to read something over and over again in sort of a slow etching process rather than a photographic process. Might as well recite a poem, get my brain working a little better this morning. I'm going to recite Pied Piper of Hamelin by Robert Browning. Hamelin, towns in Brunswick, by famous Hanover city, the river Weser deep and wide washes its wall at the southern side. A pleasanter spot you never spied. But when begins my ditty, almost 500 years ago, to see the townsfolk suffer so from vermin wasn't pity. Rats, they fought the dogs and killed the cats and bit the babies in the cradles, and ate the cheese from the vats and licked the soup from the cook's own ladles, split open the kegs of salted sprats, made nest in men's Sunday hats, and even spoiled the women's chats by drowning out their speaking, shrieking, and squeaking in 50 sharp flats. At last, people in a body to the town hall came flocking. 'Tis clear, cried they, our mares are naughty, and as for our corporation, shocking, to think we buy gowns lined with ermine, for dolts who can't or won't determine what's best to rid us of our vermin. You hope because you're old and obese to find in the furries that it grows ease. Rouse up, sirs, give your hands a racking, find the remedy you're lacking. The surest fate you'll send it, packing. At this familiar corporation quaked with a mighty consternation. An hour they sat in council. At length the mayor broke silence. For a gilder eyed my rumored down cell. I wish I were a mile hence. It's easy to bid one rack one's brain. I'm sure my forehead aches again. I scratch and sew, but all in vain. Oh, for a trap, a trap. Just as he said this, what should hap? Not the chamber door, but a gentle tap. Bless us, cried the mayor, what's that? With the corporation as he sat, looking little through wonder his fat. Nor brighter were his eyes, nor moister, than too long open oyster, save when it was his paunch grew mutinous, or played a perfect weakness. Only a scraping of shoes on a mat. Anything like the sound of a rat makes my heart go pit-a-pat. Come in, cried the mayor, looking bigger, and in did come the strangest figure. His long queer coat from heel to head was half yellow and half red, and he himself is tall and thin, with sharp blue eyes each like a pin, and light loose hair and swarthy skin, nor tuft of hair on cheek nor beard on chin. The lips were smiling out and in. There was no guessing his kith or kin, and nobody could enough admire this tall man in his quaint attire. Quoth one, it's as my great-grandsire, starting up at the trump of doom's tone, had walked this way from his painted tombstone. He advanced towards the council table, and please, your honor, said he, I am able, by means of secret charm to tell all the creatures living beneath the sun, the crawler, swimmer, fly, or run, after me so as you never saw. And I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm, mole and toad and newt and viper. People call me the Pied Piper. And here they notice round his neck a scarf of red and yellow stripe to match with his coat of sunset check. And that scarf's then hung a pipe, and his fingers they notice forever straying, as if impatient to be playing upon this pipe, as though it dangled over his vesture so old tangled. Yes, said he, Pied Piper as I am, in Tartary I fred the cam, last June from his huge swarms of bats. I eased in Asia the Nizam, the monstrous brood of vampire bats. And as for what your brain bewilders, if I rid your town of rats, will you give me 1,000 guilders? 1,000 was the exclamation of an astonished mayor and corporation. Into the street the piper stepped, smiling first a little smile, as if he knew what magic slept in his quiet pipe a while. Like a musical adept to blow his pipe, his lips he wrinkled, and green and blue his sharp eyes twinkled, like a candle flame where salt is sprinkled. And ere 3 shrill notes the pipe uttered, you heard as if an army muttered. The muttering grew to a grumbling, the grumbling grew to a mighty rumbling, and out of the houses came the rats tumbling. Great rats, small rats, lean rats, brawny rats, brown rats, black rats, gray rats, 20 rats, brave old plotters, gay young sisters, fathers, mothers, uncles, cousins, cocking tails and pricking whiskers, families by tens and dozens, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, followed the Pied Piper for their lives. From street to street he piped advancing, and step for step they followed advancing, until they came to the river Weser, where they all plunged and perished, save one who, stout as Julius Caesar, swam across and limped to carry, as he the manuscript he cherished, to Ratland home his commentary, which was, at first shrill notes of the pipe, I heard a sound and scraping tripe, putting apples wondrous ripe into the cider press of the drink, and moving away on pickle top boards, and leaving a jar of conserve cupboards, and a drawing corks of train oil fast, and a breaking the hoops of butter cast, and it seemed as if a voice sweeter far than my heart by Solary is breathed, called out, oh rats, rejoice, the world has grown to vast dry sultry, so munch on, crunch on, take your nunch on, breakfast, supper, dinner, lunch on, and just the bulky sugar punch on, already staved like a great sun shone, gracious scarce an inch before me, just as the thought had said, come bore me, I found the Weser rolling over me. You should have heard the Hamlet people ring the bells till they rocked the steeple. Go, cried the mayor, get long poles, poke out the nests and block out the holes, consult with carpenters and builders, leave in our town not even a trace of the rats, when suddenly up the face of the Piper Circus from the marketplace, the first decrees, 1,000 guilders. 1,000 guilders! The mayor looked blue, so did the corporation too. For council dinners were rare passion, with claret, Moselle, vin de gras, pot, and half the money would replenish their cellars big as Bud of Brennish, to pay this sum to a wondering fellow, with gypsy with red and yellow. Besides, quoth the mayor with a knowing wink, our business was down at the river's brink. We saw with our eyes of vermin sink, and what's dead can't come to life, I think. So, friend, we're not folks to shrink from our duty of giving you something to drink, and a matter of money to put in your poke. But as for the guilders, what we spoke of them, as you well know, wasn't joke. Besides, our losses have made us thrifty. 1,000 guilders, come, take 50. The piper's face fell and he cried, "No trifling, I can't wait beside. I promise a visit by dinner time, Baghdad, and accept the prime of head cook's pottage. All he's rich in, for having left in the caliph's kitchen, of a nest of scorpions no surprise. With him I prove no bargain driver, with you don't think I'll bait a stiver. And folks who put me in a passion, may find me life after another fashion." "How," cried the mayor, "do you think I'd work, being more treated than a cook, insulted by a rival, with idle pipe and vesture piebald? Threaten us, fellow, do your worst, blow your pipe there till you burst." Once more he stepped into the street, and to his lips again laid his long pipe of smooth straight cane. And ere he blew 3 notes, such sweet soft notes, as yet musicians cunning never gave the enraptured air, there was a rustling that seemed like a bustling of merry crowds justling at pitching and hustling. Small feet were pattering, wooden shoes clattering, little hands clapping, and little tongues chattering, and like foals in a farmyard when barley is scattering, out came the children running, all the little boys and girls with rosy cheeks and flaxen curls, and sparkling eyes and teeth like pearls. Tripping and skipping right merrily after, the wonderful music was shouting and laughter. The mayor was dumb and the council stood as if they were chained to the blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children merrily skipping by, could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back, and how the mayor was on his once more stepped into the street to his lips. Sorry, I lost my place. The mayor was dumb and the council stood as if they were changed in blocks of wood, unable to move a step or cry, to the children merrily skipping by, could only follow with an eye that joyous crowd at the piper's back, and how the mayor was on the rack, and the wretched council's bosoms beat as the piper turned from the high street to where the west had rolled its waters, right in the way of their sons and daughters. How he returned from south to west, and to Puppleburg Hill his steps addressed, and after him the children pressed. Great was the joy in every breast. He never crossed the mighty top. He's forced to let the piping drop, and we shall see our children stop. When lo, they reached the mountainside, a wondrous portal opened wide, and in the cavern was suddenly hollowed. The piper advanced, and the children followed. And when all were into the very last, the door in the mountainside shut fast. Did I say all, no one was lame, and could not dance the whole of the way. And in after years, if you would blame his sadness, he was used to say, "It's dull in our town since my playmates left. I can't forget that I'm bereft of all the pleasant sights they see, which the piper also promised me. For he led us, he said, to a joyous land, joining the town in jest at hand, where waters gushed and fruit trees grew, and flowers put forth a fairer hue, and everything was strange and new. The sparrow was brighter than the peacock here, and our dogs outran our fellow deer, and honeybees had lost their stings, and horses were born with eagle's wings, and just as I became assured, my lame foot would be speedily cured, the music stopped and I stood still, and found myself outside the hill, left behind against my will, to go now limping as before, and never hear of that country more. Alas, alas for Hamelin, there came to many a burgher's fate a text which says that heaven's gate opes to the rate at as easy rate as the needle's eye takes Hamelin. The mayor sent east, west, north, and south to offer the piper by word of mouth, wherever it was men's lot to find him, silver and gold to his heart's content, if only he'd return the way behind and bring the children behind him. But when they saw 'twas lost endeavor, and piper and dancers were gone forever, they made a decree that lawyers never should think their records dated duly, if after the day of the month and year these words do not as well appear. And so long after what happened here on the 22nd of July, 1376, in the better of memory thinks, the place of the children's last retreat, they called it the Pied Piper Street, where anyone playing piper's favor was sure for his future lose his labor, nor suffered they hospital or your tavern, shot with mirth the street so solemn, and opposite the place of the tavern, they wrote the story on a column, and on great church window painted, the same to make the world acquainted, how their children were stolen away, and there it stands this very day. And I must not omit to say that in Transylvania there is a tribe of alien people who ascribe their way and dress, of which their neighbors lay such stress, to their fathers and mothers having risen out of some subterranean prison, into which they were in Japan, long time ago in a mighty band, out of Hamlin towns and Brunswick land, but how or why they don't understand. There you go. I messed up in the middle there, sorry. That was The Pied Piper of Hamelin by Robert Browning. Yeah, we have 4 other locations. I usually bake at our Lonsdale location. That's where I'm usually at. Today I'm on Main Street, Broadway in Vancouver. The other location I bake at is on Lonsdale and 17th Ave, 17th Street. Yes, Lonsdale Ave, 17th Street in North Vancouver, in Lower Lonsdale area. That's where I'm usually at. That was our original store. That's the store that I started out at. When I first started here, there was only one store. When I first started with this company, they only had one store, and it was on the North Shore in Lonsdale. And since I've worked here for close to a little bit more than 3.5 years now, and we've opened 3 stores in that span of time. And I occasionally bake at our Commercial Drive location. No, we don't make pizzas. This is a pizza oven, but it's been modified for bagels. A partner. Yeah, they got to do something. A bag. Here's a finished bagel. Sesame seed, obviously. Show you one of our There's a plane. Hit my funny bone. The whole arm is numb now. The heart asks pleasure first, and then excuse from pain, and then those little anodynes, and then suffering, and then to go to sleep, and then, if it should be, the will of its inquisitor, the liberty to die. I'm gonna shut down the stream pretty soon. I need to focus on baking this morning. I have a lot to bake, and I'm not sure if I'm doing an adequate job right now. I'm doing good. How are you? It's gonna be a nice day today here in Vancouver. Sun is out. I rode my bike here this morning, which is nice. I get to ride home. A nice sunny day. Don't have to deal with Vancouver traffic. It's always a nice thing about riding a bike. Here in Van City. Look a little pale, eh? I need to get more sunlight, I think. My eyes are looking a little bloodshot this morning. I think it's because I went to bed late last night because I was watching the new Twin Peaks. Oh my god. I love David Lynch kills me every time. He's so fucking awesome. One of the best quotes so far from Twin Peaks is, what is it? It's a log lady, or no, who said it? The world is full of truck drivers. That's the best line so far. The world is full of truck drivers. I think I'm paraphrasing that. That's not a direct quote. Oh, I gotta get these bagels out of the oven. road. No, I don't ride. It wasn't a motorbike. I have a pedal bike. It's a Norco. It's not a Ducati. It's a Norco. Well, thanks for watching the stream. I'm going to shut it down a little bit early this morning because I just have a ton to bake and I'm getting too distracted. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have an excellent morning. And I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. At Lonsdale this time though. Have an excellent morning. Thank you.